This past week, I challenged myself to draw 25 faces in 5 days, and I did not succeed, but I learned a lot along the way, so let's talk about it. First of all, this challenge is an abridged version of Ahmed Al-Douri's 100 Heads Challenge, where he draws 100 heads in 10 days. 100 heads was way too intimidating for me, so I chose 25 heads or faces in 5 days. Drawing people and figures has always been a challenge for me. Of all the things I draw, those definitely take the longest, especially faces. So I wanted to focus on that, and I decided to give myself a maximum of 30 minutes per face, and that was so that I wouldn't get bogged down in the details if I took too long. And I didn't want the time limit to be too short either because I didn't want to feel rushed and anxious. Day one, I was pumped, I was ready to go, and I drew a total of 1 face. My goal was to draw 5 faces per day, so I was not off to a good start. I'd like to blame my kittens because they were all over me and all over my desk and my sketchbook, but I'm the adult and I could have easily just locked myself away in another room to finish the drawings for the day, but I didn't because they're so cute and I wanted to cuddle with them and give them lots of attention. So that was my bad. Day 2, I drew 0 faces. I think you can see where this is going. But on day 2, I got a lot of cleaning and laundry and housework done. So that's a plus, I guess. Alrighty, day 3, lots of catching up to do, and I drew 7 faces. I was on a roll and I think I ended on a high note. I liked most of the faces I drew on day 3, but I was still very much behind. I was at 8 faces out of the 25, which means in the next 2 days I had to draw 17 faces. Which at that point I was like, okay, that's still probably doable if I really get in gear. Day 4, here we go. I drew 1.5 faces. I don't even know what made me stop at half a face. Things were not looking good. I had 1 day left and I told myself that I could still successfully complete the challenge. I would draw all day if I had to. Day 5, the final day, 15.5 faces to go. And obviously I failed, so you know I didn't draw the 15.5 faces. I ended up drawing 2.5 faces, and my last face was not good. Aww. At that point, I was feeling overwhelmed and rushed, and I could tell that the quality of my drawings was decreasing very quickly, which made me very unmotivated, so I stopped. challenge unsuccessful, but like I said, I did learn a lot. First, keeping a time limit was very important. And I think next time, because there will be a next time, I think I'm going to shorten the time limit to maybe either 10 or 15 minutes instead of 30, because I did find that while I was drawing some of these faces, some of them took less than 30 minutes. So I think next time I'll push myself a little bit more, and maybe that'll help me not feel the weight of 25 faces. I don't know, we'll see. But yes, 10 to 15 minutes next time per face. Second, I obviously need to improve my time management skills so that I can better pace myself. I was aiming for 5 faces per day, but once I fell behind, it was really hard to catch up, and that led to a feeling of sloppiness and impatience. And like I said earlier, I got really unmotivated. I didn't want to keep going. I got super discouraged and my quality quickly dropped. Another thing that I feel helped me was keeping things light and loose and trying really hard to let go of that perfectionism. And for me, that literally meant not holding my pencil too tightly, because when I hold my pencil too tight, I get all tensed up and I tend to hunch over my sketchbook, and which is terrible for your posture, obviously. But yeah, when I hold it too tightly, I hunch over my sketchbook, I start focusing on the details too much rather than the big picture, and I go slower, and it's not good. This challenge also taught me to be kind to myself. It's fine if my drawings didn't turn out the way I wanted them to, because ultimately this challenge was about pushing myself to draw something that I find difficult over and over and over again. And I don't think I've ever drawn this many faces in such a quick succession. And some of them look pretty darn good. Which brings me to the last lesson I learned, which is to celebrate my achievements even if I didn't successfully complete the challenge. Like I said, some faces ended up looking pretty good, so I'm pretty darn proud of what I was able to accomplish. And one thing that struck me was that I can more readily and more quickly tell by looking at the faces that I drew what needs to be changed or fixed in order to make it look correct. And that's something that I used to really struggle with. I used to draw a face, know it looked off or wrong, but not really be able to see how I'm supposed to fix it. And while I was doing these faces, I found that I could see what needed to be changed in real time. So I think that's quite the accomplishment for myself. So I may not have completed this 25 faces in 5 days challenge, but drawing all these faces has got me excited to start drawing portraits digitally again. And like I said earlier, I will be doing this challenge again at some point in the future. So at that time, it'll be interesting to see how far I've come and how much, if at all, I've improved. That's all for today. Thank you for watching this video and listening to me talk about my experience drawing all these faces. It's okay if you fail every now and then. You have to fail to succeed. So don't be too hard on yourself. Thank you all again, and have a great weekend and a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.